If you're using a mid-range or low-budget Android smartphone of 6 months to 1 year, there is a probability that the performance of your smartphone is currently lagging behind or gotten so slow. I understand the frustration that follows suit, but in this video, we are going to be looking at 5 hacks that's going to make your Android smartphone perform much faster. Are you excited already? So am I. Let's jump right into the video. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I just realized that we've clicked 150,000 views. Thank you so much for always coming back to watch my video. And as a tradition, if this is your first time of watching a video, you're welcome. And if you're a returning viewer, you are also welcome. Do make sure to hit the subscribe button so you can join the community of people who use their smartphones productively and profitably. And for the algorithm sharing this video to more people, hit the like button down below. And even if you go ahead to comment maybe your favorite hack from what we're about to share today, I will also gladly respond to your comments. Without further ado, let's get started with 5 hacks to improve the performance of your Android smartphone. You could be wondering, why is your smartphone, your Android smartphone, getting slow or the performance is lagging? You need to wait for an app to open and so on. It wasn't like that when you bought it new, right? So of course you wouldn't expect anything at all that you've been using for a long time to keep performing at the same rate or to keep looking the same way it was looking the very first time you bought it, right? The smartphone I have right now, okay, this wasn't how it was looking, although it looks quite much better than some people's smartphones. It's about 2 years plus right now, okay, but it's not looking the way it was looking when I got it new. So what's the cause of the lagging on the performance of your smartphone? Storage. When I talked about mid-range or low budget, so I'm actually referring to Android smartphones within the 1 gig RAM, right, to even 4 gig RAM, okay, and then 32 gig ROM to even 128 gig ROM. But if you're using between 32 to 64, man, by now, of course, and in 6 months to 1 year, by now you should have started experiencing that lag in performance. So the reason is simply the accumulation of data, files, or all the whole media, everything, apps, and all the whole whatever that consumes memory on your smartphone. That is largely the cause of your phone currently lagging behind. And another thing is, you remember that the RAM, which is the random access memory, which is responsible for smooth operation or processing of data or information on your smartphone. So when you're using a RAM between 1 gig to 4 gig, you won't actually expect multitasking your phone to be as smooth as it would if you're using a RAM between 6 gig to 8 gig, right? So I remember that while you are using an app, the RAM accumulates data from the internet, right? It tries to get data, you know, like you're playing a game, all those pictures, the graphics, everything. There's what is called graphics processing unit on your smartphone, all right? And when you're browsing, surfing the net, you know, those information that keeps popping up, it actually picks up data, it's storing up data temporarily on your smartphone that makes it possible for, you know, for you to access or even surf that browser or surf the internet smoothly, right? If you're on Facebook, for every picture you see and pass, it saves, okay, temporarily on your phone, you know. But the difference between RAM and ROM in terms of, for instance, seeing a picture on Facebook is when you see the picture on Facebook, right, without downloading it, that for that moment of seeing that picture, right, it saves the file, right, on your RAM. Okay, it saves the file on the RAM side of your memory. But when you now download the picture, it saves the picture on the ROM side of your memory where it stays permanently. But once you maybe clear out all the open apps on your smartphone, the picture that was you saw first, right, it will just quickly go. But if you notice something, that when you've seen a picture on Facebook and then you scroll up again and saw that picture, there's no need for that picture to load again, right? But if you exit Facebook and come back and try to check a picture you've seen before, you will always be required to wait a little for the picture to view, all right? So that's the difference between ROM and RAM. So while you are using your smartphone, the images or the files or data that is meant or you're downloading is going to stay permanently on your on your ROM, and then the ones that are you're using while during the processing operation of your smartphone is going to stay temporarily in your RAM. So the more you're using your smartphone for like 6 months to 1 year, definitely you're downloading apps, you're downloading movies, you're downloading music, you're downloading different things, okay, to keep what consuming and occupying the space on your smartphone, and also reducing the performance of your smartphone. All right, so in this video now we are going to look at some things you would have to do, some hacks that's going to decongest your RAM and ROM, and thereby making your smartphone to perform much faster. So the first hack is to remove or uninstall apps that you are not using. There's a TV show that I've watched like a lot of times. Like, I can't count how many times I've watched it, and I can still want to even watch it and be excited about watching it. And the name of that TV show is Silicon Valley. So one of the things they said is people do not remove apps. So in that episode, they even had to practicalize it and ask, okay, you check for one of their apps, because they are developers, check for one of the apps, nonsense app that they did, and they were surprised that those apps are still on their smartphone, right? So when I realized this, I was now conscious, right? I was now intentional about having to check my apps and remove apps that I do not use. No matter how many times I even try to remove apps from my phone, I've never gone below 200 apps. All right, so hey, you tell me how many apps are on your smartphone. Comment down below, I would like to check it out. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is to remove apps that you do not use. Yes, okay, so I'm going to show you a way that you're going to get to know apps that you are using and apps that you do not use, so that you can easily select the ones that you do not use and uninstall them. All right, so I'm going to open my smartphone right now. Okay, so by now you should be seeing my smartphone, whether here or here. I don't know where I'm going to put it. So I'm going to go to my settings. Okay, I'm going to go to my settings. So when you go to your settings, go to apps. All right, so you can see manage apps right now. All right, so we have all the apps on my phone. So you can see 240 apps, right? And next thing I'm going to do is to sort, right? So I'm going to tap sort, and then sort by usage frequency. Okay, so now you can see all of the apps that I have used, but it do not actually show like, okay, this is the app you use most always. It doesn't show this. What it's showing me is the apps I've used from today down to like previously. Okay, because this audio status maker, I don't use it frequently. Okay, but I just opened it mistakenly, that's why it's here. But what I want you to do is this: you go down to the last of them. Okay, go down to the last. So this means this yellow pages, I don't even know what yellow pages. These yellow pages are apps that I've used over a period of time. The VR player is for my VR box, and so on. And it's been a long time I actually used all of these apps. So from the bottom, right, you can start uninstalling, okay, the apps that you do not use. All right, you can start uninstalling. Now you could also find some apps called bloatware. So bloatware are like apps that comes with the smartphone that you do not even use, and you can't also uninstall them, like the Xiaomi system activation service, right? You can see that I cannot uninstall it, but I can do what? Tap this clear cache. All right, so the cache is actually file that is saved, or cache are usually things that are accumulated over time of use of the phone. Okay, like it enables you to not have to do something again when you have done it before. For instance, when you clear cache on WhatsApp, it's going to like take off some like status that you viewed. It could take them off. All right, so you need to be careful of the apps that clear the cache. So you can since I cannot uninstall this because it's a bloatware, I can clear the cache and also force it to stop. All right, so that's how to decongest apps that you cannot uninstall. Now you don't have to only uninstall the app. You need to also go to your file manager and look for folders belonging to that app and remove them, right? So I may want to do this on my phone for you, right? There are some files, right, some apps that you can remove, but it does not completely go, right? Some cache that it collected might still be in your file manager, right? So what you're supposed to do is when you go to your file manager, right, you're going to go to a place called Android. But before you even go to Android, you need to still look around. Okay, I'm sure that if I look around, I might even see an app like this lead photo. This lead photo, I can't actually remember the last time I removed this app, okay, but it's saved on my file manager. Okay, so when you look around and look at this folder, look for apps that either of those apps that you've removed, it could still be here. All right, so second thing you might want to also do is to go to Android, go to data. All right, so when you go to your data here, you're going to go to Android data. All right, so now these are all the apps on my phone. All the apps, they have their own base here. All right, so you can now carefully go through your apps. Okay, go through this folder and look for the folder belonging to the app that you have removed, and also take them away or delete them. This is the best way to ensure that an app that you've uninstalled is that you do not have anything concerning that app on your smartphone.
If you're a business owner living in Lagos and you're interested in growing your business, that sounds stupid, right? And you own a smartphone, we want to teach you how to use your smartphone to make more money daily in your business. We are going to be teaching you 6 awesome digital skills that you would have paid someone to get it done for you, so that you'll be able to save money and also make more money. I'm inviting you to Smartphone Productivity Bootcamp, where you're going to be learning 6 digital skills to scale visibility online for your business and also make more money daily while growing your business. So now you're going to be able to convert all the time you spend on your smartphone into activities that is going to be making you money in your business. This event is limited to only 30 persons, and if I were you, I'll click the link down below, register, and catch me on the 23rd of July 2022 at Lekki Phase 1.
Number 2, now that you have cleared or removed or uninstalled your unused apps, the next thing you're going to do that I already mentioned is to clear cache, right? So it depends on the type of phone that you have, but my phone came with an app called Cleaner, all right? Or even if I go to my file manager, right? In fact, every Android phone comes with a cleaner. All right, it comes with a cleaner. So if I go to my file manager, you should see this button over here. All right, this button over here written 4 gig. So this 4 gig is actually talking about the cache on my phone currently. You can imagine 4 gig, right? So when I tap on that 4 gig, it's going to start collecting every obsolete files, cached files, packages, residuals. So residuals are actually from apps that I have uninstalled, all right? The residuals from them, things that were left behind that were not also uninstalled, okay? So these are what's compiled into 4.5 gig of data, okay? So the next thing I'm going to do, you can see that my cache files is 4.3 gig. I remember I said cache are files saved from use of apps on your smartphone, all right, that ensures the smooth operation or performance of those apps. Okay, so once I tap on clean up, it's going to totally take them all away. All right, so it's going to totally take them all away. So if you do not have a cache or a cleaner on your smartphone, then you can't download cleaners. Okay, but you need to be careful. I heard a lot of malware. Okay, so malware apps, that's apps that are meant to fish, get into your phone, collect your data, and then they can hack your data. So you need to be careful. So if your phone did not come with an Android cleaner, okay, maybe I can even suggest, I'm going to leave some options, third-party cleaners that you can download on Play Store, the description down below. All right, but make sure that you've confirmed that your Android does not have a cleaner. All right, so if you're watching up to this point, well done. And I wouldn't want you to tune off, because the 5th one is the one that I did, and it increased the performance of my smartphone like ×2, right? So you're going to be amazed when you put it's just a setting. Okay, so don't tune off just yet. The 3rd one is to always update your apps and also update the UI. In fact, the most importantly is update the UI of your phone. Every time there is an update on my phone, I always make sure, even though that it may come, like for us here in Nigeria that pay for data, pay as you use data, right? I know it's not easy for you to see 4 gig of new updates, right? It's difficult. If I always use my night plan to even do my phone system updates. Okay, so whenever there is an update on your phone, please make sure to update your phone. There are few things that happen when you update your phone, just for you to know that developers of your phone, they are not stupid. Okay, to always want you to update it. There are some things that happen. So I'm going to just go to, like, for instance, this system update was for February. Okay, so what it did was to update my security patch. All right, there are also sometimes you see bugs that are updated, bugs that were cleared, bugs that were debugging that happened, okay, that they got from maybe people's report about the app or the phone's performance or whatever. So they go back to their own lab and try to fix the things that was not right, removing of bugs, removing, even clearing of cache, and clearing of things that are not necessary on your phone. Okay, this also helps to improve the performance of your phone. And they also even tell you that when you update your system, you can see stable 12.5. all right, so when you update your system, that it also increases the performance of your phone. If you've noticed this, whenever you update your system UI, all right, there's always a difference between before and after. I'm not going to even talk about what happens to the user interface, all right. I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about the performance of your phone. It's also updated and gets better whenever you update your system UI. This is very important. Okay, this is very, very important. Okay, the fourth one might be simple, but it also wants to be mentioned. So I'm going to talk about 3 things at a go, right? So number one is try to use a minimalistic UI. There are some UIs that I've used in the past. Maybe I'm going to mention some of them on the description down below, right? And I really liked them. When you try to use some UIs like Nova Launcher, sorry, I just said UI, I'm talking about launchers, all right? So when you try to use some really sophisticated launchers, it's also going to affect the performance of your phone, because some of these launchers is going to be having some background services, background operation that keeps working even when you're not using your phone. It's going to be burning your battery. It's also going to be slowing down the performance of your phone. So it's good that you use a minimalistic launcher. I don't know why I keep saying UI. The second one is turn off background services. Okay, now what do I mean by turning off background services? Now I'm going to show you something. So when you go to or when you even go to open apps, all right, you can see all of these apps that are open are actually running on the background. Any app that you see when you open your open tabs, all right, is running on the background, because you should notice that if I just tap on cleaner, it did not take me afresh for it to like load freshly, which means it's running on the background. It's not right. Okay, it's going to be slowing down performance of apps on your phone. So it's always good that when you're not using your phone, open the tab, tap on this button and clear out everything. Okay, clear out everything. It's going to it's going to reduce the storage occupying your RAM, because these apps that are open, they are actually saving up in my RAM temporarily. Okay, so when I clear them, it releases my RAM and it decongests my RAM. Okay, so that's what when I'm talking about RAM, don't think about a RAM up north, okay, or sheep. Okay, I'm talking about RAM, even though that sounds alike. But I'm talking about random access memory. Okay, before you go and start thinking about suya. All right, so that's the second one. All right, so the third one is use your Chrome or your browser on data saver. All right, so for Chrome, you can switch from the major Chrome to the Chrome Lite. Okay, for Opera Mini, I know in Opera Mini there should be in your settings, you should see data saver there, so just make sure it's turned on. All right, and if you even go to the settings of your smartphone on the network, you should also see the place where you can also turn on data saver. All right, so that's the 3 things that you should do. So I said the first one, use a minimalistic launcher. The second one, I said make sure that you clear out everything that is running on the background. And the third one, I said if you're going to browse on Chrome or whichever browser you're going to be using, make sure you've turned on data saver. All right, so with this, let's now get to the bottom part, okay, the bottom line of the hacks on how to make your Android perform much faster. So I'm going to do something right now that you should repeat, and then at the end I'm going to tell you what I just did. We are going to go to my settings, all right, and I'm going to go to tap on about phone. Okay, so when you tap on the build, so this is the build, this is this, okay, this is the build number of your phone. Okay, so you're going to tap on it 7 times. All right, it's going to turn on a setting called developer setting. So what it means is your phone has recognized you as a developer. Please, when we are done with this, don't go back to this setting. Okay, except if you know what you're doing though. All right, so I'm going to tap on it 3 times. All right, 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so it said you are already a developer. Why? I'd already tapped it before. All right, so it opened this part, this option on my phone, developer setting. Now I'm going to go to that option. So where it is on my phone is right over here. So I'm going to tap on additional settings. So at the additional setting, you can see developer options depending on the Android you're using. So what I just did was for a Xiaomi, right? But if you're using any other Android, once you tap on the build option 7 times or how many times ever, all right, it's going to ask you to input your pin. So the next thing, just go back, you're going to see developer option, all right, or developer setting. Okay, so now when you've opened the developer setting, so you're going to go all the way down. You're going to go all the way down, all the way down. So you're going to see, what you see is, I think it's called animation. Okay, so it's called drawing. All right, so the next thing you're going to do is to go to window animation. All right, so instead of it being at 1.5, just turn it off completely. Okay, turn it off completely, and also go to the second one, which is transition animation scale. All right, so tap on it and turn it off. You can see these 3 animation duration as well. Tap on it and turn it off. This thing you just did just made your phone faster times 2. Now you may not know the I may not be able, if I'm going to show you the difference right now. Okay, so I'm going to go back, so you can see that my phone just got faster. Do you see how apps are opening right now? So this is going to load. So let me open setting that doesn't load. All right, so you can see how everything is opening much faster than it was. So what did we just do, guys? What we just did was to remove that time it would have taken for it to maybe flip over to another thing, or whatever type of animation your phone uses to open applications or switch from one application to the other. All right, so that 1.5x is the speed it's going to take for it to switch. So turning it off just remove all the speed that is supposed to take. So these are 5 hacks that is going to make your Android perform faster. So try them all out and come to the comment down below and tell me the difference you experienced or you noticed in the performance of your Android. Was that video helpful? You might want to watch more tutorial videos on my channel, like the one I released recently, and then hit the subscribe button up here and ring the bell so you always be the first to know when I release a fresh video. That is if you want to keep watching videos from me, and of course you want to. My name is Frederick. Thank you for watching and see you on the next one.